Welcome to Football with Cheese. So in today's video, what I'm going to do, something a little different. I'm going to take 8 teams that I think are going to be over or under their win total. I have 5 overs, 3 unders. So in doing research for this video, I had 29 teams that I thought were over, under, and 3 I just don't know enough information. For example, the New York Giants are, I believe, 5.5. It would help if I scroll down. 5.5 wins. If Russell Wilson starts the entire year, I would take over. If Jackson Dart plays the entire year, I would definitely take under. Giants should be over 5.5. That was my first instinct, because I think on paper they have a top 5 defense in the NFL. But Jackson Dart starting year 1 could be a disaster. If you did not watch my draft videos, I'm just not as high on him as a lot of people. Definitely not as high on him as the Giants are. But I did 29, and 20 of them I said over, 9 under. But that's the way it works. In the offseason, a lot of teams had good drafts. There are only 2 teams I would say did not have good drafts, or at least decent drafts. And the reason for that is the analytics. Teams are getting smarter. They're valuing draft picks more. So everyone's optimistic. So most people would say over. And if you take those 3 I'm uncertain of, that's 23 of the 32 over. And it's just not going to happen. Obviously, injuries can happen. 2 years ago, Aaron Rodgers hurts his Achilles in the 4th play of the game. Jets went way under. 49ers last year went way under their win total. Had a lot of injuries. So anything can happen. So let's get right into it. Do something different. Like I said, I put all the teams in a hat, so you don't know if I'm doing over or under. But all these teams are in a hat. Let's see what the first one will be. So, first one is going to be the Dolphins. The Dolphins are at 8.5. This is the easiest under to me, in my opinion. They are not good on the offensive line. Terron Armstead retired. They don't have Jalen Ramsey. They have the worst cornerback room in the NFL. They have a worse cornerback room, in my opinion, than the Bengals did last year with their injuries. So they're going to have games where they give up 35, 40 points. The pass rush is pretty good if all their players are healthy, but the Dolphins' defense is not good. The roster's just not nearly as good as it has been the last few years. It's like every year, the last 3 years, they've gotten a little worse, and they really struggle against the good teams. They could be a 5 or 6 win team. Definitely like the under for the Dolphins. Next up, we have the Saints. Saints are at 6.5. I like the under as well. We're starting up with some unders. 6.5 is a surprise for me, meaning they have to win 7 games to go over. Their quarterback situation is terrible. They have not drafted well the last 4 or 5 years. Tyler Shuck or Spencer Rattler is your quarterback. Plus, Tampa Bay should be very good. I think Carolina and Atlanta are better. Tough division. There's a very good chance the Saints pick first. I would bet, if you had a gun to my head, what team is going to pick first in the draft, I would pick the Saints. By the way, I just realized I have 3 NFC South teams of the 8 and 3 NFC West teams. I only have 1 AFC team, the Dolphins. The rest are in the NFC. We'll do some honorable mentions at the end of the video so we can get some more AFC teams, but 7 of the 8 are NFC teams. I didn't realize I did that. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Rams are at 9.5. So they won 10 games last year, despite starting 1-4. It almost beat the Eagles in the playoffs. I know they didn't, in the snow, but they almost did. They played them better than anyone by far. The Eagles easily won the other 3 games on their way to the championship. So the Rams are at 9.5. Won 10 games last year with a horrible start. This should be the best Rams offense since they won the Super Bowl 4 years ago. They added Devontae Adams. They drafted Terrence Ferguson. And their defensive line is incredible. Real young, really good at pass rush, really deep. So I think the Rams definitely go over 9.5. What's next? So next we have the Atlanta Falcons. I like the over 7.5 for the Falcons. That surprised me. So Michael Penix, it was a small sample size last year, but he looked pretty good. And the biggest problem for Atlanta has been pass rush the last few years. And what do? They added James Pierce and Jalen Walker in the draft. And Braylon Trice, no one's really talking about this. He was their third-round pick last year, didn't play because of injury. They're getting him back. I thought that was a third-round steal. So their pass rush could be a strength, from a weakness to a strength. So their defense should be better. And you got Bijan Robinson, you got Tyler Algiers, you got Drake London. There's just a lot of weapons on this team, and they won 8 games last year with Kirk Cousins collapsing in the middle of the year. So all they have to do is win 8 again, and I think they win 9 or 10. So Atlanta Falcons over. Next up, we have the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings had the same win total as the Miami Dolphins, over under 8.5. What? I'm sorry, what? The Vikings won 14 games last year. And you can argue that they have fewer weaknesses this year. Will they win 14 games? No, I do not think so. The division's going to be very tough. They play the AFC North. But their defensive tackle situation wasn't good. They added Jonathan Allen. The offensive line completely broke down at the end of the year. They added Ryan Kelly at center and Will Fry's underrated signing to play right guard. So like I said, they have fewer weaknesses than they've had. Corner could be an issue, but I think the Vikings go way over this. Obviously, the issue is J.J. McCarthy. That's what Vegas must be worried about, that he won't play well. But I was very high on him coming out of the draft, and I don't think he's going to be an issue at all. I like the Vikings to go way over. What's next? We have the Arizona Cardinals. So the Arizona Cardinals are 8.5. I like this over as well. So Arizona, they were inconsistent last year, but in the middle of the season, it looked like they were going to take the division. The Rams had gotten off to a bad start. 49ers were collapsing. And Kyler Murray is finally healthy. And the defense was improved in the draft and free agency. Their defense should be better. They got Josh Sweat. They drafted Walter Nolan. The defensive line should be better. I think Arizona is going to compete with the Rams, fighting for the division title. I'm not sure if they'll win it, but all they have to do is win one more game, win 9 games to be over. I think they win 10, maybe 11. I really like the Cardinals this year. If you've watched my other videos, you know that. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers. So Carolina is 6.5. I love this over. I know that sounds crazy because they used to have such a terrible roster, but Bryce Young really came on. The last 3 or 4 games, he played very good. Not decent, very good. The Panthers' 2 biggest issues was they need another offensive weapon in the receiving game. In the first round, they took Tedder McMillan. Love that pick. That's going to give Bryce Young a number 1 receiver. And then in the second and third rounds, they addressed pass rush. That was their biggest issue on defense. They took Nick Skeleton, Princey Umumilan. And they have an underrated offensive line. This offense could be the most improved offense in the NFL. So all they have to do is win 7 games. I think they could win 8 or 9. Like I said, the Saints are going to be terrible. Buccaneers are going to be very good. But the Falcons and Panthers, I think, are 2 of the most improved teams in the NFL. And that means we have 1 left, and it's an under. And that's the San Francisco 49ers. I was surprised that it was 10.5. So if you do not know, the San Francisco 49ers went from losing in overtime in the Super Bowl to the Chiefs to winning 6 games. They had the most players 30 or older on the team. They were old, and a bunch of their key players got hurt. So they only won 6 games. They're going to be better than that. There's no doubt about it. They need key players to stay healthy. But they lost more talent than they brought in. I didn't love their draft. Didn't love their free agency. The offensive line still has some weaknesses to me. They really need Brock Purdy and Kittle and McCaffrey and Ayuk to get healthy. They need all of that. They need Ricky Pearsall not to get shot. They lost Drake Greenlaw and Tre'Davious Ward on defense. I could see them winning 9 or maybe 10 games, but that's still under. And like I said, they just didn't get enough in the draft to replace Deebo Samuel, Aaron Banks, Tre'Davious Ward, Drake Greenlaw, in my opinion. So, what do you think? Do you agree, disagree with any of my picks? Is there a team that I didn't mention that you love to go over? Is there a team that I didn't mention you love to go under. Just want to mention a few more, get some more AFC teams in here. The Bengals are 9.5. The division's tough, but all they have to do is win 10 games. Their offense should be incredible. So I like that over. Let's see what else. Houston Texans 9.5. Weak division. They should win at least 10 games, right? Maybe 11, because you get the Jaguars, Titans, and Colts 6 of your games. So they should be over. And let me find another under, maybe an AFC team. New England Patriots 8.5. That's pretty aggressive because they won 4 games last year. So even if they double that, that's still only 8 wins. Yes, they're one of the most improved teams in the NFL, especially on offense. But I'll say under. So anyway, if you have not subscribed, make sure you do so now. Enable alerts so you never miss a video. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, more lists and predictions. If you have not, please check these out. Share this with anyone who loves football so we can grow the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.